Roger Stone, Trump's longtime buddy and partner in crime, probably quite literally, he went on Alex Jones' show. I don't even know where Alex Jones is broadcasting his show these days because he's been banned from every outlet imaginable, and I don't even know if anybody would host his own website, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. He went on Alex Jones' show, and he dropped a bomb on everybody.
The globalists love symbolism, don't they?
Well, I would be shocked if they did not come forward with a fabricated indictment for bank fraud or tax fraud against the former president by Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance, an elected Democrat, the son of Cyrus Vance Sr., the worst Secretary of State in American history, the man who botched the Iranian hostage crisis under Jimmy Carter. By the way, Cy Vance is not exactly a non-corrupt politician himself. I will be breaking a number of stories at my new podcast, Get Stoned, also at Band TV, regarding Cyrus Vance. He has a very interesting political history. If they want to go after the president on fabricated charges, then we will establish that this is a partisan witch hunt. In other words, as you said it earlier, you show the man, I'll show you the crime. They're allowed to root through this man's business record of 40 years in which he built a real estate empire second to none, combing for a crime. They have no evidence of a crime. They have no probable cause. It is disgraceful, but I do think it is going to happen. And don't be surprised if the announcement comes at the exact time that we learn the truth about Maricopa County, Arizona. Don't be surprised, because I see that coming.
Well, I'm told by people very close to it that indeed they intend to do it and that they're shooting for on or around July 4th to really rub it into our faces as a declaration of their takeover, the Chinese takeover of America.
Their real problem is you can already see that the demand for recounts and reexamination of the irregularities and the anomalies in this election are bubbling up in Georgia, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, and other states.
I love how insane that is. So they're pushing QAnon stuff now. That's what that is. That's what you just saw. And they're arguing that, look out, Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, they're all looking into what happened in the election, and it looks like Joe Biden stole the election, and we're going to have evidence of that. We're going to have proof over that. We're going to reverse the result. Donald Trump is still the real president. I mean, all these investigations going on, they're real serious. They're looking into all the right stuff. That's the argument that they're effectively making. And that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Guys, this has been thoroughly litigated. And every step of the way, Trump lost. His team lost. They had like 60 court cases or something like that. And I think they lost every single one but one. And the one that they won was on some procedural nonsense. It's over, son. It's over. Biden's been president for a long time now. They're still doing the whole, like, the election. Look at Arizona and Georgia and Wisconsin and Michigan. There are still QAnon people who think Trump will come back as president. I'm not kidding. And I mean, not even, like, run again in 2024 and win. I'm talking about, like, they'll remove Biden and put Trump in for this term. And that's what they're hinting at there. They're like, Trump is probably going to go down for bank fraud or tax fraud. By the way, that's more of a legit opinion. And they say, well, and the reason why they'll release it at the same time we learn that Trump really won the election. Jesus. Imagine living in a world so utterly made up. Imagine not at all grounding your opinions in facts or reality. Because that's what they do. These guys just make shit up. That's what they do. Like, none of what they're saying is true, except the Trump might go down part. That part might be true. They said, and he said bank fraud or tax fraud. Throw insurance fraud in there. This is probably exactly what they're looking at. And I love the argument, too. He said something like, show me the man and I'll show you the crime or something. In other words, like, who hasn't done some crimes every now and then? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sun goes up, sun goes down, tide goes in, tide goes out. A guy commits a crime. You know what I'm saying? No, Roger, I don't. That's how you think, because that's probably what you do. Hilarious. They say, they're allowed to look through his business record of 40 years. That's not fair. Of course it's fair. And by the way, they do have probable cause. Of course they have probable cause. How many times have we gone through this? There's a number of things that merit further investigation when it comes to the Trumps. Like, for example, Trump massively undervalues all of his assets when it comes time to pay taxes, and he overvalues his assets when he wants to sell something. And so that's a clear sign of fraud. You know, there were plenty of examples of the way that his father shuffled money to Trump and his siblings. At the very least, unethical and sketchy, but it possibly also completely illegal in how they did it. I told you guys, you couldn't be in real estate in New York City in the 80s without having mafia connections. In fact, Trump's top lawyer was a mafia lawyer. He was the main guy that the mafia went to. I think his name was Roy Cohn or something like that. You're out of your mind if you think he wasn't involved in crimes. There's the new question that came out that I learned about recently is every single year, he's got a number of golf courses and properties. Every year, every one of them loses a massive amount of money. How's it possible that that's the case, but they stay in business? Well, the speculation is it's not really about golf. That really could be a money laundering operation or something else. There were allegations of money laundering at a Panama property that he had. The list goes on and on. I mean, the guy's definitely a career criminal. I mean, the businesses he actually tried that were real businesses, he went bankrupt 6 times. He couldn't even make a fucking casino profitable, and in a casino, they come and hand you the money. So, I mean, don't be surprised if he goes down, and he goes down because of the investigation in New York. Federally, it was a little bit of a different story, because anytime there's a Republican president, he'd probably pardon him, but if he goes down for some state crime, that's a different story. So, we'll see, but there was a mix of, like, sober commentary there, mixed with insane QAnon garbage, like the stuff in Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I mean, imagine believing at this late date there's, like, still hope for Trump to come back. It's just the silliest thing I've ever heard.